see all the older people are gone.
Pattern day kind of.
Yeah, but it's gone now, the older people.
Maybe the old kind of stone in it.
I don't know. I don't know how.
That reversion of what you're seeing.
No idea how it's going exactly. Yeah. I don't know how they got that. But we used to do it one time. We got to own in a big set. That's come down to the road.
Yeah.
Very good.
Pick her steps.
Yeah.
Mind yourself.
Look up bogging.
Well, there's muck, there's luck.
God, I don't know about the look in it now, but we're nearly out of it. Thanks be to God.
In the glen behind me is Malachy's Well, just down here in a beautiful setting, and of course, as usual, as remote as you'll get. Tubernacoska is what the locals used to call it, to do with Easter. Easter Sunday is the feast day of it. And they say when this well was at the height of its popularity, that up on the road above, the ponies and traps used to go all the way down to the crossroads there. There were so many people, and they used to have to come down across the castle land, which will show you the remnants of the castle in a moment. And they used to come here, but two of the ladies of the butlers used to make sure that this well was kept. It's gone pretty dry now after a dry spell. One of the legends attached to it is that the ladies, as I say, used to keep it up, but then there was, after them, the aristocracy put the boot in, and they stopped the locals from coming down there, and they started using the well as a laundry, if you like, for the castle, and the well dried up completely. So the legend has it that they got guilty about it, and they had to get the Catholic priest in to say mass, and as soon as the mass was over, the water started flowing again. That's one of the legends attached to this Malachy's Well. They say about Malachy as well is that he was a brother of St. Kieran and St. Declan. This is the locals' story. I don't know how true it is, but we'll go by the locals, and that's the whole reason for making these documents or documentaries, is to try and hold on to the old ways and the old stories about him. As I say, behind us is the castle, or the remnants of Shanballa Castle, that was blown up in the 60s. I think it was 1968 they blew it up to save paying rates on it. And another little story about that is two of the ladies from the castle, as I say, butlers, got a substantial silver cross and tied it to one of the trees down here, thinking that it would be there for posterity, but it only lasted a few days, and one of the locals took it away for safekeeping, we'll say. The cross was never seen again. The castle was built initially by the O'Callaghan clan, and they married into Lord Lismore. He took over in 1837. Of course, Lord Lismore was a butler, and the very final owners of the castle when it was standing were the Pole Carews, and Lady Beatrice Butler married into the Pole Carew family. Pole Carews were famous, well, they were famous family, definitely in Clogheen. But one of the Paul Carew's ancestors actually fought at the Battle of Balaclava and was in the charge of the Light Brigade. So a lot of history. The wall that you see is the outside wall of the castle, the bottom wall of the castle, and behind that are still the remains of the basement, if you like. The cellars are all, and they covered that with it fairly substantially. But the stone from the castle after it was blown up, by the way, to avoid paying rates. And when the land was all divided up, Shanballa Castle, it's reported, bequeathed themselves by the British with 60,000 acres, and that included mountain rights and so on and so forth. But when the castle was blown up, people brought away the stone and made entrances and so on, and there's still a lot of stone in there, and they still dig it up. Lots of entrances around into farmyards, and houses are made with stone from Shanballa Castle. It was a pity because it was a beautiful building and would have made a magnificent hotel. But that's the way. It wasn't the only castle that was blown up at that time, or big houses. There was lots of them, much to the delight of some people, but I feel sorry and saddened that it's gone. It's part of our heritage, and it would be nice to see it standing there now.